I'm live! Hello there, boys and girls, cats and dogs. This is an inclusive channel. 4 o'clock totally slipped up on me. I almost missed this. It was a little bit reminiscent of one scheduled marathon live stream I had where I fell asleep and wound up starting it an hour late. I still went for quite some time that day. Anyway, it is now 4 o'clock, isn't it? It's 4 o'clock. And so we're going live now. We're here for an hour, then we go and raid Granny D. And when the time comes, I will post a link to Granny D. Hey, Roberta. Hey, Jackie. Glad to see everybody. Oy vey. I was. Oof, color looks skewed, doesn't it? Yeah, I was just saying that 4 o'clock slipped up on me today. Normally. Okay, there we go. Normally, I'm ready, but, I was just, futzing around. Hey, Hannah! I was just futzing around, and suddenly it was almost 4 o'clock. So then I had to put on a shirt with a collar because I was just wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie before. And then I had to make a stop just in case because sitting still for an hour sometimes has its effect on us old people. And then here we are at 4 o'clock. And this is, once again, there's really no topic, there's no theme, there's no nothing. We're just, we're here to have fun. Because you know what they say, crocheters just want to have fun. Isn't that how the song goes? So everybody tell me what's on your hook and what's in your cup and anything else that you want to share. What's going on? Oh, Jackie, actually, I'm doing pretty well today. I went out a little earlier. I went to see Gwenny Square, also known as Andrea. She is my local yarn buddy. And so on Tuesdays and Fridays, her work location is like very, very close to where I live. So sometimes I will go and visit her briefly, without wanting to distract her. Fortunately, when I popped in, it was a slow time there. And she's Gwenny Square. She does send her love to everyone. Gwenny Square is a tremendously loving and generous lady. I want everybody to go and look her up. Actually, if there are any moderators in the room, I would be most grateful if you would post Gwenny Square's link. There's something wrong with me. I really should have it in Nightbot so that I could just do a shortcut and there would be her link. But no, I'm that kind of a thoughtless cat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I went out, I had to get some buttons. I have no idea what I threw on the floor when I just grabbed this. I got these buttons. They're going to go on this cardigan, which is my moss stitch cardigan. Look at the moss stitch texture. Look at the moss stitch as opposed to the single crochet placket. So all I need to do with this cardigan is put on the buttons and sew in the loose ends, and I'll be ready to wear it. And then I'm going to do another one because I have some amazing yarn that one of my beloved viewers gifted me with. And I think that this cardigan would be great in that yarn. It's some fisherman's wool from Lion Brand. And everybody knows I love Lion Brand. Lion Brand, are you listening? So that's what I've got going on there. I seem to be throwing things on the floor right now. Jackie, I love to do baby blankets. I used to do them obsessively almost, even though I don't really have any babies in my life. But I used to do them obsessively and give them away because they're easy, they're compact, and there are always people who need them. And as I have said many, many times, I much prefer to either donate or give away my finished objects rather than trying to sell them, because selling it just completely is not nice. I was going to use another word there, but selling is not fun. And donating and gifting is fun. And it's worth it. So yeah, I used to do a lot of baby blankets. Okay. Oh, I had some yarn. I've shown it before. Let me put this aside right now. Let me see if I can reach for it. Oop, hold on a second. I don't know why these two skeins are stuck together. Anyway, this is some yarn. Isn't that gorgeous? This is jelly beans. I got this. Hey, MLB. I got this at the Yarn Festival, or the Men's Fiber Retreat in September. At the Yarn Festival. What was it? The Adirondack Yarn and Craft Fair, I think they called it. Anyway, I got this from there was a local yarn shop that had a booth there. And I got this Jelly Beans brand yarn. I got 3 of these at $4 each. I have a friend who loves pink. So I'm going to make a shawl for her out of this yarn, because I have 3 skeins of it. So it's 75% acrylic, 25% wool. Each of these skeins is about 214 yards. So I think when I make a shawl out of this, it will turn out quite nicely. So that's what I'm doing. Oof. I had 2 skeins right here. I have a 3rd one in the other room. And then I also have this scarf that I'm working on right now. This is, hey Pam F. This is, I'm making this with one of those Ogo donut thingies. Am I showing the right side? Okay, yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Yeah. So the first color I did all back loop single crochet. And then there are 3 colors in the middle. I'm doing cables. And then when the last color comes in, I will end it up with back loop single crochet. And I think it will turn out nicely. I don't know to whom I will gift that, but that will be nice. I still have friends in the north. I have lots of friends in the north who would appreciate that. So, MLB, what's on your hook? And Pam F, what's on your hook? and everybody else. Oh, so here we are. So what else is going on? I don't have an awful lot. You're working on a shawl? You know me and shawls. I do love shawls. I put out a post on Facebook just before going live where I was looking for a photographer, a local photographer, and models for my shawls and for my sweaters. Because I recognize that photography is not a long suit of mine. Jackie, you have a nephew and niece. Is that two separate pregnancies there, or a nephew and niece-in-law that you mean? Expecting early next year. Baby blankets are wonderful gifts. I love to do baby blankets. Oh, Hannah is making a crop top for her daughter. Ooh. Oh, I would love to see a picture when you're done with it. Send it to me. Or better yet, if you are a member of my Facebook group, which is called, not surprisingly, Bearded Yarn Dudes, post it publicly. Because everybody is invited to join my Facebook group and to like my Facebook page. The page is really about, posting information. The group is about community, and I would love to have a lot more participation in the group. So, yeah, go ahead. Actually, while we're talking about it, I should talk about, I should do a little bit of self-promotion, which, would surprise nobody who knows me. Okay, today is Friday. Usually I don't have a structured format for Fridays. I want to do more recorded videos to upload and schedule for Fridays, but very often on a Friday I will do live streams because I enjoy live streams, and if I don't have a recorded video to schedule for a Friday, why not do it? Saturdays I usually don't post anything. Sundays I have poetry readings. Oh my gosh. The other day I recorded a poetry reading for this coming Sunday. Two Walt Whitman poems that are all about, the nature of infinity and eternity. And if you just think about them and read them, it just takes your breath away. Mondays, I do Monday Men, where I record conversations with men in yarn. And I have met some amazing, wonderful people in doing that. Tuesdays, I have Topic Tuesdays. This past week, it was all about, it was Ask Me Anything. Most of the time, we stick to a topic for a few minutes, and then it just becomes free form. We just go wherever the spirit leads us in terms of conversation. And then on Wednesdays, I have Wednesday Free for All, which is really no theme, no topic. It just happens. Thursdays, I usually don't post anything, and then we're back at Friday. I will say that just last Sunday, I did a holiday marathon because it was Halloween. I have another one planned for Black Friday, which in the US is the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is usually the fourth Friday in November. I can't remember the date right now. I'm probably going to do another one on New Year's Day. I'm also planning a birthday celebration on Wednesday, December 8th. It will be one of my Wednesday free-for-alls, but it will be extended. There will be fun and laughs. Jackie, which yarn have you not tried yet? Is it the Ogo? Honestly, this Ogo yarn that I got, it was a gift. My sister found it at Michael's. It was like buy one get one 50% off. But even at that, it was $18 for 1,000 yards of Karen cake yarn. I don't call that a bargain. I mean, I have no objection to the yarn itself. It's not bad yarn at all. I just think it's a packaging gimmick and it's overpriced. And I'm not alone in the yarn community in that opinion. Okay, what else is going on? Okay, I do not say this often enough. I always try to begin and end by saying thank you to everybody who watches me, who subscribes, everybody who is a member on Patreon and YouTube, everybody who buys patterns on Ravelry or merch on Teespring. I used to have merch on Etsy, not so much. I don't like Etsy. We did not part as friends. I also, just thank you to everybody in the world. Chenille yarn in purple. I love purple too. Purple is great. Oh yes, I love purple. I haven't used chenille yarn before, I don't think. What's it like to work with, Jackie? Tell us more. And, always, please join my Facebook group and we can post pictures and we can talk about anything you want to talk about that's yarn related. So, as I was saying, on Mondays I do interviews with men in yarn. On Fridays, I'm going to start adding more recorded content. I want to interview, hey Gumdrop. On Fridays, I want to add more recorded content, and that's going to include more interviews. Oh, this is not a fortunate camera angle. Look how big that ear looks. I know they're the same size, but it's just the camera angle is so wonky. Anyway, hey, Pitterpaws! Yes, I agree with your opinion about the Ogo. The yardage for the money, particularly since it's the same yarn you would get in a Karen cake. And, it's perfectly nice yarn. There's nothing wrong with the yarn. I just don't think it's a good deal. Oh, MLB likes acrylic yarn, which I do too, but you're willing to work with anything. What else was I going to say? Oh, I started talking about interviews. I want to do more interviews with women. I want to do interviews with male-female teams. I want to do interviews with people outside of the yarn community just to add, interest. So that's, and it's not going to be scheduled. I'm not going to say I'll have one every week or every other week. I mean, I've been saying all this time that Fridays are unstructured because even if I call it a rotating format, that would imply more structure than there is. And I've reached out to some people, actually, to do that sort of thing. Occasionally I will record a tutorial, but I don't think that's my long suit. I think other people do tutorials much better than I do. And I find that my long suit really is the recorded conversations. They're not really interviews, they're really more conversations, and also the live streams. So I enjoy them more, so why not do them more? and also people seem to like them more. I get good response when I do attempt a tutorial. I still don't think it's my strength. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I haven't done this yet. I should do it. I'm going to put up the link if anybody wants to join me. Oi! Oh, God. So what's going on, people? So anyway, once again, we stay here until about 5 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock we go and raid Granny D. Granny D is perfectly lovely, and anybody who does not know Granny D should know Granny D. Anybody who does not love Granny D is not someone I want to know. And that's really all there is to it. But I will post the link to Granny D when the time comes. So, what else do we have to talk about? So I was talking about this scarf. I'm basically making it up as I go along. As I said, you know, the first color I did all back loop single crochet to create that ribbing effect. And then the middle 3 colors, I'm doing cables and stuff. And then the last color is also going to be back loop single crochet to give it symmetry. I have a few other things that I'm working on. I feel like I'm so behind. I want to do so many things. I have some patterns that I want to publish. I have some patterns that I just need to get out to testers that I haven't done yet. And then there are things that I want to just work on and create and then write up. I feel like I'm just so far behind. I mean, and I think that's, I don't know what that is, because I shouldn't pressure myself that way, because when I do place pressure on myself that way, that's when I lose my passion and lose my motivation. And it sort of sucks. Oh, hey, Nisi, I remembered your first name. Which is unusual because I usually don't remember people's names. Yeah. So, tell me more. What's going on, Nisi? What's on your hook? You know, the whole standard stuff. I should not try to do cables while, cable crochet while I'm also talking to people, but you know, life happens. Yeah, it very well could be about the 20 emails, but that's okay. I don't mind getting emails from people. So I reached out to another YouTuber today who said that she was going to start making more tutorials and had picked out a few patterns. So I said, hey, take a look at my Ravelry. You know, I wouldn't mind if you did tutorials on my patterns. I haven't heard back from her, but, well, it's about an hour ago that I sent the email. But I haven't heard back from her. I have been flattered to have some popular YouTubers do tutorials with some of my patterns. Jackie is asking, have I done amigurumi? I've done it a little bit. Again, I say it's not my passion. It's not, and I don't, I used to say I didn't like to do it because I didn't do it well, but it's one of those things that with practice it comes to you, but at the same time, I'd rather do shawls and blankets. I've done it. I've done, things that look okay in amigurumi. It's just not my passion. Ah! Gumdrop agrees that I'm living dangerously, trying to talk and crochet cables at the same time. It's true. It's true, but I like to live dangerously. Maybe I'll have that risk-taking gene that they talk about. I don't even know if they talk about it anymore. I remember seeing a documentary about it in the, I don't know, might have been the 80s. Dishcloths for Christmas presents. I need to think about more Christmas presents. Because I can't afford to buy stuff for people. Hey, Karen! Can't afford to buy stuff for people. Because I'd rather buy yarn for myself. And then make stuff for people. Because as I was saying before, I'd much rather give it away or donate it than try to sell it. And otherwise it just takes up space here. Let's see what else is going on. How are we doing for thumbs? It looks like we have 12 people in the chat right now. I'm not seeing 12 people participating, but often I'll go into a live stream and I will just sit there and my eyes will be down on a project while I'm listening. So it's okay if you're not participating. Okay, let's see. So as I was saying before, oh, another thing, I was talking about my schedule before, but Bush Tracker beanies. Excellent. And it's a make-along? I've never done a make-along at all. Oh, my friend, Gary Boston. I think his Instagram is Gary Knits, Gary Rides. He does a lot of fundraising for AIDS-related causes. And so he's just been doing a knit-along to raise money. But he has proposed doing a parallel knit-along and crochet-along after the new year, and for the crochet-along, he's going to include one of my patterns. How cool is that? I agree, Karen. I like the Bush Tracker crochet pattern that Crystal Bagaday came up with. I understand, Pam. Yeah, watching on your phone is hard. I do that sometimes if I'm, not, here in my little craft room. Hello there.
Hello.
What a pleasure to meet you in person.
It's
Almost.
nice to meet you in person myself.
Hello there. Okay, are you getting an echo?
I'm sorry, just the way my TV is set up.
Oh, Gumdrop is talking about a blanket she started for her son using a Bernat blanket yarn. I don't think I've ever used any burnout yarn, but I know some people love it, some people don't. Um, that's the thing about blankets, they become heavy, no matter what yarn you're using. So what you got there?
Right now I am making a shawl for a good friend of mine for Christmas, and this is
Hmm.
one of I think number 6 right now.
So it's like uh, 6 shawls for 6 friends.
I'm making Christmas gifts for 12 different people, and each one of them is different gifts, from blankets to shawls.
So it's six out of 12
Yes.
for 12 different people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I'm a little slow, but I got that.
You're fine.
So, I haven't used any burnout yarn before. I wonder why that has happened.
Recently I just got done with a baby blanket using that particular yarn,
Hmm.
and it took me about 8 balls to finish that blanket.
What kind of yarn was it?
Baby brunette.
Oh, baby yarn? Baby yarn, in my experience, is usually a little bit finer, so it takes a little more of it to cover the real estate that you want to cover.
I should have it somewhere near me. I can show you what it looks like.
I've probably seen. I know I've seen the variety. I might have even seen the colorway that you were working with, but I'd
Um,
love to see the finished object if that's what you want to show me.
yes. This is what I'm done with it now.
Well, that's nice.
And it took about 7 to 8 balls of yarn to finish it.
How big is it?
It's good enough, big enough to fit a baby crib.
Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty big for a baby blanket. Usually, when I do a baby blanket, it's between 30 and 36 inches square.
I normally don't keep track. I just keep going until I run out of yarn.
Well, yeah, I do that too. Um, that's what I'm doing with this scarf. So I'm cabling until I run out of this one color, and then I switch back to my back loop single crochets for the last color. But I don't mind this yarn at all. I haven't done, I haven't used. It's your basic Karen Cakes yarn. So I'm not crazy about the packaging gimmick, but the yarn is just fine. Um, no, usually I go for Lion Brand Mandala um, if I'm going for cakes. And that's partly because I don't go to Michael's very much because it's on the other side of town. Hey, Proverbs! Where'd you go? We lost mobs. Oh, Peter Paws, me too. I've been saying that my tastes have become posh while my budget has not grown. Oh, what happened? I was alarmed.
I'm sorry about that. I had got a phone call.
Oh, I see. Understood. Yep, that happens. Life gets in the way of crochet sometimes. But it's funny. I used to go to this sort of a spiritual slash recovery retreat every year. And people would talk about going back to the real world and how awful that was. And then, people started talk, and then the facilitators would say, oh no, this is the real world. That is also the real world, and you just have to find a way to merge them. So you can be your spiritual self and be your practical self at the same time. And boy, is that hard to do.
It is.
Hey, Barbara Botzer. But I think it's worth it if you can make it happen. And you know what? It's okay if you make it happen and then you lapse and then you make it happen again and then you lapse. Just keep getting back on the bicycle. Is that the metaphor I want? But,
I know my mother goes to retreats like that over the course of the past few years, and she actually
mm-hmm,
enjoys it.
mm-hmm. But I think I miss going to those. And it's interesting because the men's fiber retreat I went to in September was at the same retreat center where I have been to some of those spiritual retreats before. So that there was that connection. And then, of course, because we were all, fiber buddies, um, even though not all of us would use this language to describe it, there was still a spiritual connection. Does that make sense? Or am I talking drivel?
It makes sense.
Joanne says that, okay, the Wilsons need to rebuild their home on their, okay, what's the channel name of the Wilsons? If there's somebody who's blue and you could post the link. Joanne, are you blue? I should make you blue. I'm sorry if I haven't yet. Anyway, yeah. So is that a solid red you're working with?
Yes. This is one of many colors that I started because everybody wants different colors of the shawls I'm making.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that looks like it's almost done.
I'm nowhere near done.
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah,
nowhere near done.
is that something you're making up as you go along, or is that somebody's pattern?
This is somebody's pattern, but the last one I made, it was like different people's patterns. I just threw together the last one I made.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, and everybody wants different
Mm.
colors for different people. And then the baby blankets I'm making and kitchen dish cloths, pot holders.
Mm. I don't have that many people to do gifts for. And I've done some already. But I'm also trying to do my own stuff and create new stuff. And um, that's why I say I just feel like I'm behind all the time. And then I just felt like doing this scarf out of the blue because I had the yarn and I had the idea. And then I don't know who's going to get it.
Right now, I'm kind of getting low on yarn.
Oh, getting low on yarn? Yeah.
Yes, I'm really getting low on yarn right about now.
Mm, that happens. Although, um, I hear that some of the yarn merchants are starting their Black Friday sales already. I don't have any specifics to share at all, but I see people posting about those things.
Most of the yarn, I normally get most of my yarn from like Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And because like some of the like, because I normally like their mainstay acrylic yarn. That's what I normally prefer.
I like Mainstay myself. It's probably my second favorite store brand yarn.
Because that's what I'm using right now as we speak.
Yeah, I think my first favorite store brand yarn would be the Joann's. I can never remember what they call it. The one from Joann's. Big
Um,
Twist.
I really haven't because where I live at, there is not like a Joann's near me. Because the closest one to me is like an hour away from where I live at.
Hmm. I forgot where you live. Where is that?
I live on the outskirts of Pittsburgh.
Oh, oh, I would think there would be a Joann's nearby, but no.
There is, but it's like from where I live on the other side of town is like an hour to an hour and a half drive.
Oh, I see. But a city the size of Pittsburgh, I would think we would have more than one Joann's.
That's what a lot of people think because of how big the city is.
Mm-hmm.
There is like more of Walmarts than there is anything else in the city.
I mean, we talk about Walmart all the time because, oh, Pitter Paws is in central Pennsylvania. That's like State College is where the university is, right?
Yes.
Um, one of my teachers in school um, had grown up in State College. I think her parents were both teachers at the university there.
And like I don't know,
Um,
like from where I live at to the state college is about maybe 2 hour drive.
mm. Oh, Joanne has to go. Bye bye now. Um. Anyway, yeah. So, do you have Michaels? Do you have Hobby Lobby?
I have a Michaels, but it's still on the other side of town from where I live at.
There's nothing nearby.
No, the only thing I got nearby is a Walmart.
And does your Walmart have a decent? Hey, Russell, a decent crafting department?
Barely.
Yeah, the one that's closest to me is not that nice. Although I have been able to get the mainstay yarns. Occasionally, I've gotten some, Lion Brand Mandala or some other yarns there. And, I picked up these buttons today
But I
at
know they do
Walmart.
have a good variety of Red Heart yarn.
If
And
you
that's
like
probably
Red Heart yarn, yeah.
yeah, between the Red Heart and the Mainstay, those are the only two pretty much things I pretty much get besides the brunette baby blanket yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. They don't have really much of a variety, and if they do, it's like they only get it every few months.
Do you do much ordering online with yarn?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It all depends on like the price of it.
Mm-hmm. I find if I go on those sites, I make impulse purchases that, I don't regret the yarn itself, but I regret spending the money.
And like that's my thing too, because like I'm getting yarn on a budget.
Mm, yeah.
So like I normally try when I do, it's normally like most of the yarn I do get is either I bought myself or it was given to me.
I've been very fortunate. I have some very generous friends. Sometimes people send me yarn out of the blue. My local yarn buddy, she goes shopping to all of these stores and gets things on clearance, and then she shares with me. Um,
And like most of the people I do know, like I only have one friend that I know that like knits and she does the same thing I do.
which is just the budget yarn shopping.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, most people know I am enduring embarrassed financial circumstances too, so I can't afford to spend much money on yarn. And then I do. I go and spend more than I should, and then I'm embarrassed.
Now when I
But I
normally,
sure enjoy using the yarn.
because the last time I bought yarn was about 6 months ago, and I felt
Mm-hmm.
so bad in buying the yarn because I spent $150 on it.
Oof. How much did you get?
It came in like two separate boxes.
Hey, Jessica. Um, do you like watch those all the YouTubers who do giveaways? So
Um, Not really. I do watch them, but I just enjoy watching it because of some of the fact that some of the yarn looks really nice. I never participated and put my name in there myself. I just enjoy watching other YouTubers give away the yarn.
um, I agree. I think that's perfectly lovely. But at the same time, you know, you got to be in it to win it. And if somebody is gonna be that generous, you might as well take a stab because, you know, I mean, they're all doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, and every one of them has very good hearts. So if you're the one who comes up with the random comment picker or whatever it is, um, then go you.
And I just always thought that me personally, like I just enjoy other people getting it. That's
Well,
how I always
yeah,
looked at it. I'd
yeah,
rather
there
see
is.
other people get things than myself. Because that's
I
one of the things that makes me happy that along with somebody else is happy.
Yeah, I do completely understand that as well. Yeah.
Because
But
like I have to
I'm
build
not telling, I would not tell anyone to be mercenary and to like enter all of those giveaways to with the object of winning because the odds are always going to be so very low.
it's like me personally in real life, I just don't feel like I always been the type of person that if anybody did anything for me, I always felt bad. So it's just when somebody do something for me, it's just like I feel bad and ask multiple questions.
That's the thing we have to learn as grown-ups, and I'm still working on it, and I'm much older than you are, is just learning to accept graciously when people want to show their love with generous actions.
Like
And
'cause
boy, is that hard to do.
it really is.
Um, yeah.
It's just like really hard for me to like deal with anybody that does anything for me. So now I feel like I'm obligated to do something back for you.
Hannah was asking whether when you referring to the purchase you were talking about, did you buy too much? There's no such thing as too much.
I think I bought too much.
Too much for the time or too much for your
The yarn.
lifetime?
It was the yarn, too much yarn. And I wound up pretty much using it up within 3 months.
Hmm. Oh, you used it all up?
Yes.
Oh, well, then it wasn't too much.
Because when I go back to the phrase that I'm running out of yarn.
Exactly. Okay, somebody just said, Pitter Paws just said that her husband took her credit card away.
That sounds like my husband because I used his credit card to buy all the yarn.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I used his card to buy all my yarn, and he was mad when he got the bank statement.
There you go.
He was mad.
Oh gosh. Jessica is greeting people who are coming into the room. I hope we're doing well with thumbs. Um, so in about 10 minutes or less, we're going to go and see Granny D. So I'll just start posting the link. I
That
hope.
reminds me.
Ah! Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
Okay, was that me or you?
That was you.
Sorry.
I'm about to get off so I can catch her in a minute. But
Okay.
I still have to go start my dinner.
What's going to be for dinner?
I'm making a homemade chicken noodle soup.
I love that. I love to make it too. It's oh my gosh.
Because right now I got it on low because I wanted to join your live. So the only thing I got to do is just start it, and then I'm going to go over and catch Granny D.
I love to talk cooking also.
Well, I love to cook. Between my husband, my kids, I love to cook.
That's a thing in my family where we show love with food. And believe you me, I used to be 450 pounds. I know a little bit about food. Um,
And try
but
working a full-time job too at that.
I did. I was.
Because between,
Fortunately, it was an office job and I was sitting all the time, but still.
because right now I work in fast food between my job working full-time, 6 days a week, coming home, start dinner, and then try to catch you on certain days in between. Because some nights I do happen to miss you to the point I have to go back and rewatch your live.
Well, actually, I'm flattered that you do that.
Well, I enjoy watching you and several other people. I actually enjoy it. It gives me a sense of clarity, and then on top of that, trying to do this at the same time, where my
Mm-hmm.
only free time that I can actually get a chance because I would happen to be off today. So
Mm-hmm.
it gave me a chance to catch up on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Russell says he wants to know how to get in touch with you. So I hope that you two can like hook up offline.
With me.
Yeah.
I can probably send him my email through the group chat at some point.
Or yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you post videos? Do you have a channel? I mean, you have to basically if you're
I have
here.
a YouTube. Like I don't post anything at all on my YouTube at all. I don't make videos, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like really hard. So when I can message him through the group chat on here and contact him that way.
Okay. Or if you want to, you can email me with your contact information and I can forward it to him with your permission.
That's fine.
Because, you know, when you're online like this, you have to be careful.
True. Because also,
Jessica, okay, Jessica has to say goodbye because she's heading out.
because I'm about to say goodbye myself, so I can go finish stirring up my food, so I can go catch Granny D.
I would love to have some of your chicken soup. I love to make it. I mean, we don't have time to talk about it, but I could talk at length about how I make a chicken soup or how I make a chili or a beef stew. Those things that I grew up.
The only
I
thing
grew.
I can say is it's my grandmother recipe, and she it's only a family thing.
Yeah, I grew up on my mother's elbow. Um, while she was cooking, she would teach school 5 days a week and come home, and we always had a hot dinner every night. And I don't know how she did it.
'Cause around this
Uh,
time, my grandmother always made chicken noodle soup once it started to get cold. Because we're right now it's like 45 degrees down here, so.
Even here in North Carolina, it's beginning to get chilly.
And now I'm making chicken noodle soup because I have been wanting the mood for it for a while.
I've been in the mood for it for a while too. So I think uh, maybe, well, no, actually, I'm taking a trip next week. So maybe when I come back, I'll have to, you know, I like to just get a package of like chicken wings or thighs, bake them in the oven, and use that as the starting point. Um,
I can tell you right now what I use is a boneless chicken breast, and I will start that as bouillon and some chicken broth.
exactly. That's how you make it.
And then I add extra stuff to it the way my grandmother showed me. I ain't going to tell you all that now.
We'll talk offline.
I got you.
Because I love to talk cooking um, because of the whole food is love thing.
Yes.
And yeah,
Well, I'm going
and
to go ahead and get out of here. So I will talk to you later.
actually, we should probably all go ahead and get out of here. So once again, I will just post Granny D's link and then we can all head over there. She usually starts right at 5 or very soon thereafter.
I already got my thing set up for as soon as she goes live, I get a notification. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll let you.
Oh, Nisi says that's how she snagged her hubby. What, with chicken soup? Ha ha! I could be had for chicken soup. I could be had for a lot less, actually, but actually.
And I want to say thank you for having me tonight.
Well, thank you for coming up. It's been lovely. I hope you'll come up again.
I probably will because I know you've been asking me for the past couple months for you to have me come up for the past couple months.
Yep. Now, yeah, I love to have people come up on the panel. Usually I want to know you first, or at least someone I've seen a number of times, rather than someone I have never seen before, because that's not going to happen.
Right.
If I've never seen your name before, you're not coming up. Oh, hey, Blind Stitches. Oh, Blind Stitches is asking about my shenanigans. Oh, we don't have time to go into that.
Maybe in another episode.
Yeah. Janet, Janet, are you just joining us now? We're closing up because it's time to go and visit Granny D.
And I'm going to go ahead and say bye, everyone. I will see you, everyone, next time.
Thank you, and I'm
You're
so glad
welcome.
you came up. It's
You're
been
welcome.
lovely. Okay, now I want to thank everybody who's been watching me and everybody who comes to watch a replay. I don't know would possess you to do that, but if you do, thank you so much. And as I always say, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. Now we're going to go over to Granny D, scroll up to find the link. Bye bye now.